So it's now been officially confirmed and officially announced. Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte will rematch each other on August 12th at the O2 Arena in London, live and exclusive on Dazn pay-per-view. So evidently, both guys did actually want it. All we've seen in the past few weeks was just negotiation tactics. And if you want to be really cynical, and I know some of you are, you might even go as far as saying that all of the back and forth between Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte was theater to help promote the fight, to help build interest in it. I'm not saying I necessarily agree, but I guess it's possible, right? In any event, both guys put pen to paper. There's a saying which doesn't 100% accurately describe this situation, but is kind of relevant. And that is that you should be nice to people on the way up because you're going to meet those very same people on the way back down. And many people would say that Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte are on the way down in their careers right now. They've both lost 3 times. With both of them, 2 of their losses have come in their last 4 fights. They're both coming off unimpressive performances against Jermaine Franklin, and they're meeting each other in a crossroads fight 8 years after their first fight in the very same venue. So there is something a bit poetic about it. What I'm wondering is, will this be the death of Anthony Joshua's career, or will it be a rebirth? Will he be consigned to the scrap heap, or will we see the emergence of Anthony Joshua 2.0? Dillian Whyte, just like the first time, comes in as the underdog. He is older, wiser, and more experienced this time, and he's still very confident. But he's also more vulnerable. He's had a lot of tough fights, more tough fights than AJ's had actually, and they've taken their toll on him. He does not have the same punch resistance that he did during their first encounter. With Anthony Joshua, he's more vulnerable this time too, but not physically. I haven't seen the type of deterioration in punch resistance with AJ that I've seen with Dillian Whyte. Instead, we've seen a deterioration of AJ's confidence. Whose flaw will prove to be more fatal? It's a very interesting situation. I think this is the right fight for both of them in many ways. With Dillian Whyte, it's a no-brainer. He's 36 years old, and he's not going to get a payday nor an opportunity as good as this anywhere else right now. So this is the fight he had to take. Of course, it's a risk, but the reward makes it worth it, both financially and in terms of ranking and status within the division. And for Anthony Joshua, he's trying to rebuild his confidence and gel with his new trainer, Derek James, after successive defeats to Alexander Usyk and the ghost of Andy Ruiz still lingering in his mind. If they put AJ in with Ajit Kabayel, that might have served the purpose of helping to rebuild his confidence, but it wouldn't have satisfied the public, and it probably wouldn't have satisfied the broadcaster, Dazn. In Dillian Whyte, he's facing a much more dangerous puncher than Ajit Kabayel, a much bigger name, and a much more exciting fighter, which is much more pleasing to the public and to the broadcaster. But Dillian Whyte is also an opponent that AJ is very familiar with, having already fought him before and knocked him out. He's an opponent whose punch resistance is arguably at an all-time low. So it's a fight that ticks a lot of boxes for both guys. And it ticks a lot of boxes for me too, because I want to see where they're both at. I want to see what they both have left. The winner will presumably go on to have at least one more big payday and possibly another run at the title. And the loser is finished, especially if they lose in decisive fashion. This is last chance saloon for the pair of them. They've used up all their lifelines now. No more chances. It's a cliche in boxing, but this really is must win. At least if they want to remain among the highest earning heavyweights in the world. If the loser wants to carry on regardless, well, that's their prerogative, but I can't imagine they're ever going to see these types of paydays again. And remember, they've scrapped the rematch clause. So there's all to play for. I think it'll be a more cagey fight than the first one. I don't think they'll both come out swinging like last time. I reckon we'll see a bit of a chess match early doors. I think if anyone's going to push the action early, it will be Dillian Whyte this time, because it was AJ pushing the action early last time. Dillian Whyte was just trying to stay with the pace and respond with counters. But in the rematch, I think Dillian will try to apply pressure. Nothing reckless. I don't think he'll come out all guns blazing, but if anyone's going to try and push forward, I reckon it will be him. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea for AJ to fight this one on the back foot and give up center ring. Tyson Fury laid the blueprint of how to defeat Dillian Whyte, and he did it on his back foot. I know Anthony Joshua's a different fighter than Tyson Fury. He doesn't have the same slickness. He doesn't have the same ring IQ, but I don't necessarily think he needs to beat Dillian Whyte again. Dillian Whyte is most effective when you stand right in front of him. But when you give him some movement, that's where he struggles because he's got slow feet and poor balance. He struggles to adjust to a moving target. That was even evident when he fought Robert Helenius many years ago. So AJ has all the physical tools and technique to defeat Dillian Whyte, I think. It's whether or not he's got the confidence. Dillian Whyte says he's going to get under Anthony Joshua's skin and in his head. We'll see if he can. If I had to pick a winner, I'd have to go with AJ because, this might sound strange, I trust his chin more. I'm sure Dillian Whyte can hurt him, but I think he'll need to land really clean. Whereas with AJ, I don't think he'll need to land his Sunday punch to knock Dillian Whyte out. Anyway, I'll leave the analysis there. The only issue I've got with this fight is the fact it's on pay-per-view. At this stage of their careers, I don't think either of them are really pay-per-view worthy, at least not for my money. And I mean that literally, as in, I wouldn't pay to watch this fight. I already have a DAZN subscription. I wouldn't want to pay extra to see AJ Dillian Whyte 2. But if you want to pay extra to see it, no problem. Again, it's a crossroads fight. Both guys have got 3 losses. Both guys are coming off unimpressive performances against Jermaine Franklin. Their careers are mirroring each other in a lot of ways at this stage. It's not like one guy's been doing brilliant and the other guy's been doing terrible. No, they both haven't been doing very well of late. So there's intrigue here to find out who's got what left. Maybe they've both got nothing left. We will soon see. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments section below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.